Get ready to take a look behind the scenes and enter the impossible for the Between Two Minds podcast with our hosts, Judge Mentalist and Bernardo Rodriguez. Can they really tell you what you're thinking?
Hello, Hypnosis world and the rest of the world, whoever might be tuning in. This is Judge Mentalist. Again, I am here solo for the moment, doing another Michigan International Hypnosis Conference preview. We are coming up on 3 weeks away. We are almost there, the home stretch for anybody, and I will harp this until it's too late for me to harp it. Anybody somehow not yet registered, MichiganHypnosisConference.com. Last day to register is September 1st to do it online. So the price went up beginning of last month. The tickets go away the beginning of next month. So get in, get your ticket. Lots of great stuff going on at the conference, including my guest here for today. This is someone near and dear because we are in the same state, which when we do these live stream broadcasts does not often happen. But here we are. Without further ado, we're going to introduce Nora Lawson. Good afternoon, Nora. How are you?
I'm great, Judge. How are you?
I'm fantastic. It's always a pleasure to do these, and I'd say meet new people, but we met very briefly last year at the conference.
We did.
And, we're practically neighbors. I mean, as far as comparing you and Dennis to anybody else in the Michigan hypnosis world, we're basically next door neighbors. So let's jump into a little bit of background about you, and then today it's going to be a little bit different because we're going to not only have some discussion about your talk, but you're also a vendor, exhibitor. I'm not sure what the right term is, but we're going to do a little show and tell today, which is exciting. And it all ties in together with both your talk and everything that you're offering at the conference this year. So a little, let's start with a little bit of background about you, and we'll go from there.
Well, I've been practicing bodywork or a massage therapist for over 30 years. I've always been interested in crystals and energetics, but as I continued with my business, I found that energy work was so helpful. And I got really curious about using crystals with bodywork sessions. So I became a crystal practitioner and have been incorporating crystals as well as energy work with my practice ever since. And once I started using them in the session, I thought, well, why not sell them? Because I understand and I experience them with all the different properties and the benefits. And also, I was also a teacher for about 18 years, at second grade, as a matter of fact. And
okay.
So I really love researching and making sure, I double check whenever I buy a crystal or if I'm going to say something about its property. I've done the research to make sure that what I'm saying actually happens, is a possibility.
Wonderful. Now, you've been doing this type of work 30 plus years or so. How long have the crystals been really incorporated into what you've been doing?
At least the last 5 to 7 years.
Okay, wonderful.
So, yes, yeah.
And again, I don't want to give away too much, but let's get a little taste of what we'll be talking about specifically in the talk.
Okay.
In Michigan.
Well, my talk is called "The Power of Crystals in the Hypnosis Setting." After being at the conference last year, I was really interested in offering something that many traditional people consider crystals, using a crystal, kind of as a woo-woo, something a little weird and out there. Through my research and through my becoming a crystal practitioner, I've learned there's a lot of science behind it. So I wanted to bring that information and offer that to the community to explain that crystals have been proven to work from thousands of years, from in traditional cultures for thousands of years, but now the science is catching up. So I thought being able to bring that into as a message and as a workshop, and then actually allowing people to work with that, to see what energetics is about, and then also have a chance to be able to touch crystals and see for themselves if they would work for them. Now, crystals, just like medicine or anything else, as you probably know, is we can take a medicine that a doctor gives us, and for you it might work great. For me, it may not, or I might get
Right.
side effects. Almost everything works that way. So I may offer you a crystal, which just happens to be lepidolite. It's the properties are calming, giving you some balance. You may not feel anything from this, but I or somebody else will be like, wow, this is a really strong crystal and I love it. And it helps me to breathe easier. It's just, and whether it's, as my husband would say, whether it's just in your head and it works, or if the vibrational energy actually works, as long as it's working, that's what matters, right?
But isn't it what the healers that are connected to or utilizing hypnosis were fixing, rewiring, reprogramming the mind? There is an argument to be made that all of this is in the head.
True.
And I don't mean that from a placebo effect. I mean that from a practical, we are working in the mind, in the head. It's kind of a given. I think the closer that you get to it, the more, you mentioned some people thinking this is woo-woo. The first thing that popped in my head is I'm a hypnotist. There's a subsect of people that think everything that all of us getting on planes and cars and trains and however else we're getting to Detroit are all in a batch of woo-woo. That's there's a big chunk of the population. So, differentiating it, do we need to? No. We all have a little bit of a target on our back. So, all friends here. Absolutely. So the talk that you're going to give sounds like it's going to be pretty practical, pretty hands-on, almost like kind of workshop type in actually handling, utilizing, and feeling what's going on here.
Yes, it is. And I'm going to do a little precursor, which is one of the reasons that crystals do work so well is because, as science has proven, all matter is vibrational. It has a certain frequency. And what we're exploring with the crystals is that their frequency, their vibration is different than ours, to a point that it helps to balance different parts of our body. And I'll explain why in the workshop. But
Wonderful.
that's part of what's going to be fun, is explaining to you this which vibrations of a crystal can work with which body parts and with which emotions as well. Yes.
Beautiful. Now, if we could just kind of manifest this into the world, a place that I think could use a little bit more balance these days.
Well, it's getting there. What's really cool is, first of all, we have crystals all over the place. Like if you have a telephone and a computer, you have crystals inside that working for you. They're in the MRI machines. They're in all types of medical machines that we're using now. But if you're wearing an Apple Watch, you've got it on there. You've got it in your telephone, internet. But also, MIHC is starting to study different crystals. So this is kind of cool, and I'm going to read it to you, so I'm not making a mistake on this.
Sure.
Okay. So MIHC has found that pyrite used in Chinese patented medicine, which has been around for about 2,000 years, containing pyrite helps bone fractures heal faster, with less pain and without serious side effects. There is another study that shows that pyrite with other components actually can help reduce E. coli and inactivate antibiotic-resistant bacteria. And they're starting to use this in third world countries. And then one of my little favorites, and I'll see if I can find it. This is aragonite. This happens to be from Morocco. And they make a slurry out of this, like a slurry gel. And they've done it's a very small study, but what they've done is it helps to repair knee cartilage. And they've studied, and when they use this, they found that after 5 years, it's most of the patients have had a faster recovery, the recovery's been longer, and they haven't had anything. They have not had any more injuries from that. So there's a lot of positive, and hopefully NIH will continue to be able to study things like this to show all the powerful effects that crystals have throughout our lives.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Well, that's going to be exciting and interesting. I think useful for many of the folks attending the conference. So you're also you exhibited last year, and you're going to have, is that the right word? Yeah, exhibit.
Yes.
So you'll be returning for that, and you're going to have some of these available for folks who want to take them and utilize them in their own practices, their own journey, or however they want to use them.
Right. So some crystals that I'll be talking about eventually are like grounding crystals, which means they help support you not getting so confused. You know, when a lot of times when we're around a lot of happy people that have high energy, what happens tends to be, at least for me, I get kind of foggy. You kind of get airy would be the quality that I would say. You forget things easily. So I'll have crystals that are like shungite, which will help with electromagnetic frequencies. They also help with grounding. I'll have stuff like this, which is a black tourmaline. It's an old type of black tourmaline. Of course, I might have pyrite, like I just talked about. And the cool thing also about like aragonite would be that not only does it do that with the ligaments, but I have found that if you're in pain, you've got some pain going on, like muscle pain, you just hold that to that area, and for many people, the pain goes away. And if you hold it there for long enough, like 20, 30 minutes, and you take it away, pain's gone. And I've seen, it's pretty amazing. I have a story about a lady who used that to help her when she had back surgeries, and she was at a show and was in tremendous pain, and we gave her one of those, and about a half hour later she just gave it back and she says, I'm doing much better. So
wow.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I also am considering bringing back my table like I did last year. What I did last year was do crystal de-stress sessions. They ran about a half an hour, and I was using things like pyrite and a black tourmaline for helping you to put a grid around you that would bounce back any of the electromagnetic energies that were in the building. And so we, as a person, have our own natural electromagnetic frequency. And it allowed that to get back into balance. And people really enjoyed it, came out of it much more centered. So I'm thinking about bringing that back as well. And I also have some frankincense serums that I've been making, and that's something totally different. So, but they'll be coming in, and I'll talk about that if anybody's interested.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that sounds incredibly valuable, because some of us are not necessarily social butterflies. We do the work that we do in a one-on-one setting and kind of keep it, in those sort of small bursts of interaction. So going to a conference where you're there with hundreds or more people kind of just really starts to, really overwhelm a lot of folks. So valuable to have that there and everything available to kind of get people, like you said, grounded and centered and right back to where they need to be. So fantastic. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Again, anybody who is somehow not registered, you are running out of time. MichiganHypnosisConference.com through September 1st. You can register. It's a great event, tons of value. all sorts of different angles to look at healing, look at performance, look at anything that's kind of related or connected to the world of hypnosis. It's one of the great things about this conference is really in this small pocket of interest, there's still so much diversity, so much to learn. And if it's something that wasn't on your radar, then it's something great to get in there and learn something new. Be aware of a different approach, because you never know when it might be exactly what you need for a client, for a patient, for somebody that you're working with in the future. So awesome. Any last thoughts before we ship out of here and get ready to pack our bags for Michigan? Because we are getting very, very close.
I know. I'm so excited about that. It's going to be a blast to be there. I think I'm going to just suggest that if you end up coming to my session, you're going to find many different ways to use crystals in a session, but also for yourself in your own room, which is going to be kind of cool. But I don't know. I just think you're just going to have fun being able to explore what crystals are all about and how they work, whether they're something that you put in your pocket or something that you put on a table for people to fixate on when you're doing a hypnosis session.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Or just having something that is absolutely beautiful, but at the same time, it will be sending out a certain type of vibration in your room at the same time. So it'll be fun. It's going to be fun.
It's a show and tell and touch. So
exactly.
Definitely worth it. Awesome. Really looking forward to it. Again, just a few weeks away. Thank you so much for coming here, spending time with me, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
That sounds great. Looking forward to it. Have a great one.
All right. You too.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Between Two Minds Behind the Scenes podcast. Be sure to follow us on social media under Between Two Minds with the number 2 instead of TWO, or under Enter the Impossible. Thank you, and we hope to see you back for the next episode.